Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ray Tampa podcast. Our podcast offers bold commentary on various subject matters with a laser-like focus on the truth. My name is Ray Tampa, and I'm the host of the Ray Tampa podcast. We have in our studio Mr. Russell Cato, a retired educator with 40 plus years of experience here in Pinellas County Schools, and Mr. Jamie Wilson III, a healthcare provider with more than 25 years of experience as a physical therapist, my dynamic co-host. On Friday, August 16th, 2024, Colleen Wright, a very talented reporter for the Tampa Bay Times, published an article titled, quote, St. Petersburg officials receive big bonuses following the Rays stadium deal. The subtitle stated, quote, this week, 17 employees received bonuses totaling $250,000, end of quote. The headline raised quite a few eyebrows throughout our community. In response to the reporter's questions, Welch said, quote, ... I approved reasonable bonuses to key staff whose efforts went above and beyond their day-to-day duties. This is within budget and my administrative authority, end of quote. People from all walks of life offered comments that were overwhelmingly opposed to this initiative and questioned the judgment of Mayor Welch. Pastors, business owners, political figures such as a former mayor, former mayoral candidates, political party activists, ordinary citizens, whites, blacks, young, old, individuals offered the following. These are comments directly from individuals. Number one, illegal and dumb. Number two, appalling. Number three, this is a first for me. Number four, it's always follow the money, especially if you smell a rat. Mm-hmm. But these are seemingly the small rats. Where's the top rats? Number five, what? That's all that person had to say. What? Number six, ... I don't think they should get a dime. Number seven, the fix was in. I guess Ken and Pritchett got theirs from the source. Mm-hmm. This coming Tuesday, number 8, this coming Tuesday, August 20th, vote to end the corruption. Number 9, absolutely insane. Why not to the people that were displaced? Crooked as crooked does. And we elected this corrupt government representative. Number 10, unethical and illegal. Mm-hmm. Number 11, mind-boggling. Number 12, who paid it? It's either a misuse of public funds or a bribe if it came from the Rays. Number 13, does Ken want to be a one-term mayor? Number 14, I think it smells at least. I wonder if these employees were aware that closing the deal would net them a bonus, ... Many other comments were given to me that I care not to share. One comment, though, was made on Facebook, not to me, but on Facebook, that was more or less supportive of Welch's bonus initiative. It was the only one that I am aware of. Just think. Bonuses of $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and $25,000 for doing the job they were hired to do, the job they were expected to do. Not bad at all. However, what was bad was their finished product. A horribly imbalanced, poorly structured deal that was a blessing for the Raise Hines team. The city was a big time loser in this deal. Welch gave away the store, so to speak. Ken Welch has to answer for the many transgressions made during his time as mayor. For those who are not aware, this is called accountability, pure and simple. Once again, accountability, pure and simple. At this time, my co-host and I will dive into a very healthy discussion about the matter and see if we can't bring some clarity to what's going on here. Which one want to go first?
Ray, Carly, I have to go back and look at your 14 things here, and I have to say to myself, what? I have to say to myself, what? Because Ray, for a long time, we always have tried to invite people to come to this show who had the kind of ideas that Welch had. We always try to invite these people in.
Right.
Because we always said we're not trying to kill Welch or nothing like that.
No.
We just wanted to hear something here. And boy, this is something else, Ray. I'm telling you. When I looked at that deal, Ray, I was questioning myself because I looked at the numbers 5-3. I'm trying to find out now it's a bonus to this thing. Are those the 5 that got the bonus? I don't know.
No. The 5-3 were city council members.
Okay, get
that
me straight
voted.
on. Thank you.
They're not
Thank
in that list.
Thank you.
The list that was published was a list of city employees under the leadership of Welch.
Okay.
City council members.
Thank you.
They may have gotten something,
Well,
but they're
yeah.
not in that list.
Right.
Yeah, but let me ask this before Jamie comes on. My whole question about this thing, Ray, did the Black community get anything out?
Well, that's something that we have been arguing in hopes that they would slow down this deal
Right.
to make sure that the Black community did not suffer the indignities that we suffered long ago.
Right.
This deal, as stated many times, was a horrible deal.
Mhm.
It was out of balance in terms of the Rays and the city. And at this point, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's nothing we can do. The city council members have made their choice. Now, I want to say it was a 5-3 vote, as you just stated, which means that 5 people on city council And 5 people, county commission voted
Mhm.
to approve this deal.
Right.
That's 10 people. Those 10 people, I must say, do not represent the interests of all these people in this county.
Okay.
Definitely not all the people in the city. We've published reports and polls, and we've had so many podcasts. We've had so many community discussions. And those 10 people, or let's stick to St. Pete, those 5 people in St. Pete do not, in terms of this vote, represent the interests of the people in this city.
Yeah. It was almost like the public, most people didn't even know the components of the deal. A lot of the residents, they just knew it was a deal, but no one knew the components, what were the benefits of the residents. A lot of people didn't know that. And for the people that's in favor of it, and I'm sure a lot of them were baseball fans, this, that, and the other, their ticket sales are going to go up. I mean, not ticket sales, but ticket prices. Foods is not going to be a real benefit to them as well. Everything's going to go up. As far as I just feel like it did not represent the residents. It was hidden for a long time. We had to bite and scratch to get information in the beginning. I mean, we didn't even have the information. It was just, I don't like the way it was done. I don't feel like it's a benefit as most people feel. For those who got the bonuses, maybe they did work hard, but if you're promised something, whether it be bonus or a little something on the side, you're gonna, and I say this because corruption is real, you're gonna vote whichever way benefits you personally. This was a bad deal. This was a bad deal. And it should have been laid out in the paper or on the internet, just laid out, boom, 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 so that enough residents could get involved and know. And that's not what happened. It was kind of secret.
I want to throw out a narrative talking point here. Again, we've said 8 city council members voted, 5 voted for it, 3 voted against it. If one other city council member had voted no, that would have killed the deal.
Correct.
Now, that in itself probably upset Welch, because if you all remember, they had a meeting, and it was the Ray's team, the city administrative team, talking in front of city council members, explaining what was going on with the deal. And it was not a good discussion. Remember, Jabbar Edmond was our guest talking about that. And he said there was a moment where a question was asked. Who wrote that in terms of a portion of the deal? Who wrote that? And then Jabbar quietly said, somebody mentioned the Rays. So the Rays were writing the deal.
Correct.
They were writing the deal. But I want to share with you all the 3 council members that voted no when they were asked to respond to the bonuses by the reporter. All 3 of them had something to say, such as Richie Floyd said he intends to ask questions. He intends to find out what went on with this situation, because they found out at the last minute. John Muhammad said he was shocked. These are city council members. He was shocked, more or less, by the amount of money. Lisa Hanowich, city council member, said she only learned of the payments on Thursday, the 14th of August, though they were awarded last month. They got these awards last month, and she just found out. City council members. Furthermore, she said, that may be typical in private companies. I'm not sure if it's typical in government, meaning she didn't think government works this way. And she's a lawyer on city council. And these are the comments that we published in the paper. So why is it the 3 people that voted no, they didn't have a problem making comments, but the ones that voted yes, they were quiet,
So they felt
tight-lipped,
felt guilty.
felt guilty.
Felt guilty.
Ray, let me say this.
Transparency.
Yes,
Common sense is common sense.
common sense.
If something is fully constructed and they knew this, something got to go wrong when you know it is bad and you're going to tell it it's going to be okay. How you do that, Ray?
Yeah, yeah.
So somebody, and I'm like Jamie, I'm not saying this happened. In order to get something over that is fully constructed, to get its approval, you got to give something up here.
It's politics.
You see what I'm talking about? You got to give something. Now, I go back to what James said. I don't mind the idea of giving bonus to people, but why give bonuses? And that's what your job is to. I'm through with it.
You through with it, Russ.
I'm through with it.
You know, Russ,
through
by
with
you saying I'm through with it,
I'm
that's
through with
exactly what a guy said to me yesterday.
through
I
with
was going to invite him to come to
Yeah,
the
I'm
show
through
and
with
talk
it,
with
Ray.
us. He said, Ray, let me think about it. 'Cause these people got my blood pressure up. These people have
Yeah,
my
I'm through
blood
with it.
pressure up.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is the city of St. Petersburg employs over 3,400 people. 3,400 people. What does the mayor have to say to all the other employees who are not in his good favor? Hundreds and hundreds of other employees meet the criteria he used to justify granting these bonuses.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of other employees work over and beyond the call of duty, do a great job at what they're being asked to do. What are they going to say?
That's a good question.
Boy,
My whole thing is what for the people that voted. I mean, what the true motivation? Because I just keep going back to like transparency about the whole deal. We start hearing, bits and pieces more toward the end, but which was still weren't good. They kept going back and forth, back and forth. It's a bad deal. Everybody knew it. That was the whole thing.
Right.
I didn't hear many good things about it unless you're on the receiving end of something. And like this little money, the 250 little 250 that they passed out, that's nothing in comparison to the big payday for actually putting this together. That's chump change.
That's chump change.
So who got that? Who got that? Was that the motivation? I mean, it goes like this was a bad deal. And I really thought they were going to go back and really chop it up and remix it and make it right.
Better.
More, equitable for the residents.
Right.
But that's not what happened. They pressed on and found ways to have their agenda. There's some Trump stuff, man. There's some Trump stuff.
Well, I'm going to go back to the point about other employees because, as I stated, a lot of city employees do a tremendous job at what they're being asked to do.
Correct.
No matter what category they work in, they do it well, exceptionally well. You got paramedics and firemen and police officers and public works, utility people. If it's a hurricane, who's out there trying to make sure that the water main break is repaired, the sewage is not getting into too many places, the public works people over and beyond the call of, well, that is the call of duty if it happens, but they do it well. They do it exceptionally well. What are they going to think when they see these bonuses given to that category of employees?
For such a terrible deal.
For such a
That's what I'm saying.
What's
That's
Jay,
the
what
problem.
point?
There it
That's
is.
like if I shoot somebody, you give me $1 million just rewarding me.
I'm like,
So,
that's what I'm talking about. Such a terrible
Bad.
deal.
Terrible deal.
Yeah.
Rewarding a bad
In actuality, the people that got that money,
Oh,
they would
man.
do themselves a favor by going to Welch and stuffing that money back in his hand.
Yeah.
Welch, I don't want this. I don't want, we know it's not going to
Not
happen,
gonna
but
happen, yeah.
you know, Welch, you can take this money and put it back in the city treasury because we oversold the deal.
You know what, Ray, and you said work with the city. I look at this kind of money. If we just had, if we have kids who struggle to go on trips and things like that.
Yeah, I can go out.
Imagine if we could have gotten a $25,000 bonus to help kids. You see, Ray?
Even the ones that are still living in cars. We had some people here that kids, you know, the families are still living in cars, you know, stuff like that. That it could help so much.
Now, we know for a fact that there are a lot of things that $250,000 could have benefited as opposed to the giveaway that Welch did. But he was probably ecstatic over the fact that he did get that vote, even though it was not what he wanted. He wanted a unanimous vote in support, but he did not get that. He barely scraped by. All we needed was one person to act with common sense.
Yeah.
One.
Didn't happen.
Common sense. And we didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
But I want to move to another point that I was talking about in terms of this situation. The mayor, in my estimation, is building a very significant track record of very poor judgment calls.
Mhm.
Poor judgment calls. They have all had significant negative impacts on the city's resources.
Mhm.
For example, the property where the old police department sat was sold to a developer.
Mhm.
You're going to be shocked when I tell you the numbers here. The property was appraised at over $28 million. The city sold that property for $5.2 million.
Right.
5.2.
$5.2 million.
Yep.
See that.
How in the hell is this man just giving away so much of the city?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's
That was the old police
The
building,
old police
Sold it, yeah.
department.
and they sold it for what?
That they sold it for $5.2 million.
got it.
Isn't his background in numbers, accounting?
Okay,
or
that's
something?
another point.
Yeah.
I said, this so-called numbers man really doesn't know numbers.
Mhm.
This so-called numbers man really does not know numbers because he just can't
That is a
give
lot
so
of
much
money.
away. That's a lot of money. But that is nothing in comparison to what the Rays got.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
I can
Nothing.
Nothing. Tell you that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But I can go through another list of projects where the city is coming up short. The city is coming up
Yeah.
short.
Well, Ray, when you look at the mayor and he does these kind of things, doesn't he have to get approval from somebody?
Well, what it is, the mayor has his cronies on city council,
Right.
0.2.
just like DeSantis has in the state legislature.
Mhm.
Dang.
Those people that's backing anything that he says and does.
Like this, like the Republicans have the Supreme
Yeah.
Court.
Yeah. Damn.
Just like that podcast we did about the lap dogs in the state legislature
That's what we got.
supporting DeSantis.
Mhm.
We got that situation here in the city.
Mhm.
Russ, you remember
Oh, man.
that sheet that I gave you some time ago, months ago, really, where I did a comparative analysis of DeSantis and Welch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got that shit.
You got it? You
Yeah.
still have it?
I still got it.
I have it right here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I have it.
And what I gave to Russ, and I gave this to Russ maybe 6 months ago.
Long ago.
It's just something that came to my mind. I typed it and I didn't give it to anybody, but I gave it to Russ.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm going to share it here.
Please.
Let's see. Do we
Please.
have the time? What's the time, Ellen? How many?
6 minutes.
Okay. Sad to say, but DeSantis and Welch are very similar in several ways.
Mhm.
very similar in several ways. Both are graduates from Pinellas County High Schools. Both think they are the smartest cookie in the jar. Both feel they don't need to listen to anybody else. They don't need to listen to anybody else. Both won election by large margins. Both are suspect about telling the truth.
Mm.
Both are always defensive. Both are revengeful. Both can care less about who they offend. Both served in legislative bodies before winning executive positions. Both have made very questionable hires. Both are very calculating. Both are doomed to fail unless they make significant changes. Well, we've already seen DeSantis' failures on the national level.
Yeah, he fell off.
And I would like for him to run for president again tomorrow. Get on back out there. Both made ridiculous statements. DeSantis, quote, said AP African American history courses lacked educational value, end of quote. Welch said, quote, it doesn't meet my criteria for community impact. This is what he said in reference to his rejection of support for a small business. His criteria for community impact.
His criteria.
His criteria.
Gotcha.
He never told the community what his criteria was.
Of course, he was hiding from everybody.
Both wastefully expend public resources to benefit personal agendas. Both promote policies that are hurtful to the citizenry. Welch and DeSantis. Now the world knows how I felt when I wrote this 6 months ago.
It's just sad. He grew up here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This man grew up here.
You know, he knows the issues that are here. I'm just saying low income, not white, black, green, yellow. I'm just saying period. He knows the issues in areas, you know, especially this area. I mean, it took forever to get our roads right and stuff. And I do like that a portion of the only good thing that I've read somebody deal is a portion of the money will be for roads and stuff like that. That's probably the only good part. But he knows the issues here, and to give away the city like he has is real disappointing. It really is.
And on top of that, we have people in the community trying to pack another person on city council that will be a person with her let me leave it alone. I was about to be unprofessional. I won't go that route. But anyway, they're trying to put on city council another yes vote for Welch.
Right.
Yes.
So there's no checks
Welch.
and balances then, if that's the case. It's not, obviously it's not, because the votes, you know, it's been passed in his favor, but it's just going to be more of the same. If he's already got these people who he knows going to be in his favor in a sense.
Well, Ray has said
it's more bad stuff to come.
Ray has really said something with that what he mentioned a few minutes ago. If you get that position where it's an I position, you just need people around you to, you know, to support the I position.
Oh yeah.
And that's what he is doing.
Right.
Because if I notice in your saying, he said, I approve the reasonable bonus to key staff. I did this. That's what he said.
And that was arrogance.
Yeah.
That was arrogance.
Right.
You know, I'm the mayor. I can do it. I did it.
That's the problem.
But there are certain things that, yes, you are the mayor. You do have the authority to do it, but doing it isn't necessarily the right thing to do.
Right. After the first deal, I thought he was going to come in like a boss and really like, you guys, you're going to pay, but it's going to be an equitable, fair type of transaction. I really thought in the very beginning.
Yeah.
That, you know, based on the last deal, I really thought he was going to come in like a lion and like fix it, you know, like, no, you're going to do this for my city. You know, you're not going to.
I thought he was going to make some corrections when he lost his communications director early on. Well, I really don't have time to expound on this particular point. We're at the end, fellas. I'll leave it alone, but I do appreciate the discussion. We're hoping that this will give the mayor something to think about. Well, he didn't think about our first podcast. we don't have any confidence in that. But at the same time, I want to say we appreciate the work that my two co-hosts do every week, each and every week. I really appreciate that. And to the listening audience, we appreciate you tuning in to the Rate Tampa podcast each and every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. on 99.1 FM, The Bird. And we ask that you visit YouTube, the Rate Tampa podcast on YouTube, and you can view them all. And with all that being said, good evening.